Hi there, this is my Samsung Stellar smartphone, and it's an Android phone version 4.1.2 of Android, and I'm going to be transferring a JPG and a MP4 file that I took footage of and pictures of with my camera on this phone to my Ubuntu 12.04 desktop. So all I have to do is take this USB, which is plugged in to my smartphone, and I'm going to plug it into the USB on the side of my Toshiba Satellite laptop. When I do that, you can see that it does recognize my phone, but as a Verizon Mobile digital audio player. And what I need to do to prevent it from just recognizing it as this is, you can see at the very top corner of this phone that there's an icon right here, and it means connected as a media installer. And in order for it to recognize it as a MTP, mass storage player, I have to make sure on here that it's checked as a media device, MTP, which is the first option here. So I need to click on this box here. I know you can't see it very well in this picture, but I was having a hard time with the contrast in the daylight. Camera PTP is the second option here, and there would be a box there too. Right up here it says USB PC connector or connection. So when you first plug in the USB from the phone to the laptop and you click on that icon, you're going to get these two options, and you just need to make sure that this one is checked. And once it's checked, then it will recognize it automatically as a smartphone. And then it brings up this window here that shows under devices the Samsung Android device, and then the two icons within that device, the SD card and the phone icon. And then all I need to do to access the files is click on either icon, and the files I'm interested in copying are in the SD card, so I'm just going to double click that. And I know that they're in this directory here, so I'm going to click on DCIM. There's a camera folder, so I'm going to click on that. I'm going to minimize this window, and I'm going to copy this first JPEG file by clicking on it, holding down the mouse button and dragging it with my mouse to the desktop. And if I do that, it will show up on the desktop, and I can double click on that and I can view that picture. Now I'm going to close that. Second thing I'm going to do is take an MP4 file. I'm going to click on this one here. I'm going to use the same process by holding down the mouse button and clicking on that and dragging it to the desktop again. This time around it gives me a progress bar because the file is larger. And once that's completed, it disappears, and I can close the camera folder or window by clicking on the X at this upper left hand corner. And then I can double click on the MP4 file.
Alright, I have my 11,
and I can see it's fine, so I'm going to close that, and it's automatically using Movie Player to play it. And I'm going to unplug my USB, put the phone away and go to File Manager here, and I can see under Devices the Samsung Android icon is no longer there, so it's now unmounted. So that's all there is to it as far as transferring files using this method. Let me show you the method I used. If I click onto Firefox, this was the website I used to execute the process. I needed to install this program called Gvfs with MTP support, and this is for especially Ubuntu versions 12.10 and 12.04. I mentioned I have 12.04. All you need to do to install the program is go to the dash, find the terminal. I'm going to type terminal here. Double click on terminal. And it's as simple as just copying and pasting these two lines onto the terminal. Now that's assuming that everything goes well. It's that simple, because once you do that, then his next set of instructions are to launch the software updater on 12.04 and highlight software up to date, and then that's what launches the software updater, and then reboot the computer, and it was fine. Now if you want to be on the conservative side, this guy gives you instructions to revert the changes. So in case something goes wrong during the installation and configuration process, he gives you instructions to use this program called PPA purge. So this is what you would use to purge the PPA. But to purge the PPA, you first need to install the program called PPA purge, and to do that you'd have to click on this link and it brings you to another web page, and you just follow the instructions to install it. So basically that's all this means. For these two commands, this one is to just add the repository first using the sudo add apt repository get command, PPA get command. So you just copy that, and then paste it here. Then you'd hit return, then it would execute its process. Then when you're done with that, then you do the same thing. Once that's done and you get this cursor again, and then you can just copy this command, and then that actually gets the program, the Gvfs-MTP program, and installs that onto your Ubuntu desktop. So that's all there is to it, and I was really happy that I found something really intuitive as far as just simply plugging in your USB to drag and drop files from your smartphone to your desktop. Thanks for watching.